Burge IT backs Ningi, reviews more on 3.7 trillion naira budget pardon saga. Oh boy. So an independent body now is supporting Ningi. And I tell you that what Ningi said is the truth. He's suspended because he revealed a privileged information that should not be revealed. That is the punishment. Not that what he said is a lie. Now, an independent budget analysis body or has come out now to support Ningi. Let's get into the details to see their own point of view. Burge IT, a civic organization dedicated to Nigerian budget and public data analysis, has thrown its support behind suspended Senator Abdul Ningi regarding a purported 3.7 trillion naira gap in the 2024 budget presented to the National Assembly. Okay, so Shu Onigbinde, director and co-founder of Burge IT, emphasized Ningi's stance during an interview with Channels Television on Wednesday, asserting that if there was no detailed allocation for 3.7 trillion naira in the 2024 budget, Ningi's claim holds merit. So Nigbinde stated Senator Ningi was right if he posited that there was no detailed allocation for 3.7 trillion naira in the 2024 budget. Ningi, representing Bauchi Central Senatorial District, faced suspension by the Senate on Tuesday over allegations that two versions of the 2024 budget were passed in the National Assembly. He alleged a 3 trillion naira pardon in the budget and criticized the neglect of the North under President Bola Tinubu's administration. Senator Olamileko Adola, chairman of the Senate Committee on Appropriation, initiated a motion on breach of privilege against Ningi, following his interview with BBC Hausa. So the Senate subsequently ratified Ningi's suspension for 3 months, amending an initial proposal for a 12-month suspension. So reacting to the development, the Burge IT boss highlighted deficiencies in the budget, particularly regarding statutory elements lacking comprehensive analysis. So he pointed out that allocations for entities like the National Assembly, National Judicial Council, Independent National Electoral Commission, and Tertiary Education Trust Fund, that's TET Fund, lacked detailed breakdowns, emphasizing the public's right to transparency. So Nick Binde said there is a different conversation that those budgets should be detailed. TET Fund should not just get an allocation. What are you spending the money on? INEC is collecting a huge chunk of money, but there is no public details about what the funds are used for. The same thing with the National Judicial Council, okay, even the National Assembly. So in the current budget, the National Assembly gave a very broad summary of its allocation, but there are no detailed allocations on a granular level that everybody can interrogate. These are transparency issues, and if you put all this together, that is around 3.5 trillion to 3.7 trillion naira. So if that is what Ningi wants to interrogate, there are components of the budget where there is no breakdown. That is very factual. But the National Assembly needs to push back. We need a breakdown. What is NJC spending money on? We give money, more money to the NJC and say, take it arbitrarily. What are they spending that money on? There should be a detailed breakdown to the public. On that point, Senator Ningi is right. But to look as if we are running parallel budget, that is not right. So what Onigbinde is saying is that they support Ningi's position. Okay, they support Ningi's position. Because a lot of the money they allocated inside that budget lacked proper analysis. Okay, you don't just allocate bulk money to a parastatal or an institution and you don't break down what they're spending the money on. So if Ningi is querying that analysis, for transparency's sake, Ningi is correct. Okay, but at the same time, saying we are running a parallel budget, we have two budgets in place and running them in parallel is also not right. Now, I mentioned the amount of money allocated to National Assembly, INEC, NJC, and TED Fund, all of these were not properly analyzed and so lacked transparency. And if you put all the money together for those four parastatals or four sections, you are going to get between 3.5 to 3.7 trillion naira that is not analyzed and probably not accounted for, and that is why they are looking for it in the budget. Okay, so now that Onik Binde has spoken, who is the boss and the founder, or rather co-founder of Budge IT, then it means that there is something, more transparency is desired by the public. And the public has the right to question or query the budget before implementation. And every gray area must be properly explained so that the public can understand exactly what the National Assembly, the executive, and the judiciary arms of government are doing. So now that Nick Binde is supporting, because this is not just for Nick Binde, it's the institution which is the Budge IT. The Budge IT is an independent budget and planning analysis group, and these people have come out now under the leadership of Nick Binde to say, look, Ningi is correct. If there are gray areas in the budget that need to be clarified, they have to be clarified. And not rather than giving the guy suspension to silence him or to shut him up. He will not shut up. He has gone back to his state. He has resigned from being the chairman of the Northern Senators Forum, and his governor, Governor Mohammed Bala of Bauchi State, is supporting Ningi. And I'm telling you, a lot of Nigerians are supporting Ningi because this is the first time a senator could be bold enough to speak out. And why is he speaking out? Probably whatever that sharing did not get to him, because I know that APC have more people in the National Assembly, and a few of the PDP did not get a few things. So maybe they didn't give him anything and he's forced to speak out. And I remember one of the allegations he's putting on Tinubu is that the Northerners are being sidelined. The Northerners are not carried along in Tinubu's government. And those are the things. So the Northern senators, Ningi is not in this alone. He has the Northern senators with him. He has everybody in the North with him. And so this could be a Northern agenda. Let's get ready, because two things are going to come out of this from my own perspective. One is that there's going to be a fight between PDP and the APC in this Tinubu's administration, and it's going to be a huge one. Another fight is going to be between the Northerners and the Southerners, especially in the National Assembly. Okay, because already the actions Tinubu is taking, the Northerners are getting tired by the day, ranging from moving the headquarters and head offices of certain parastatals from Abuja and from the north to the south, and specifically to Lagos, not even any other state in the south. Okay, so with all of that happening, the Northerners are saying that Tinubu is not carrying them along. Meanwhile, it's the Muslim ticket that gave him the presidency, because they had to come behind him to support him. Now, after getting what they want, the Northerners are now regretting accepting Muslim ticket, because it looks like the card they play with Tinubu is turning it upside down, and they are not getting what they expect. So with all of this put together, a lot of battle is going to come over to Tinubu's administration between him, or between his government and the Northerners. Obviously, that's what I see. So with the way things are now, Ningi might be correct. And this is probably the beginning of certain revelations. I'm sure there's a lot that we don't know that are probably, as this process or this case drags on, a lot will be revealed. So thank you for listening, and let's have a comment on this.